This is my first time going to school this fall, and I will be resuming work next week, Monday, 22nd of September. By the way, I've graduated, so I need to go get my transcript. I need to set up my lab, and then I'm meeting up with a friend to just catch up. And then by 7 p.m. I have a healthcare workshop somewhere on campus. I think it's Nico building. It's particularly interesting because I was talking to my professor virtually this morning. We had a research meeting and he was walking us through reading papers. It was a session we already had in the summer semester, but because we have new people here in the lab, we had to go through this all over again. He mentioned how we have to read research papers in 3 sections, in 3 parts. The first part, you're pretty much looking at the title of the paper, the abstract of the paper, and then reading a little bit about the introduction. And then the part 2, this is just for you to understand what the paper is all about, have a brief understanding of the paper. And then the second part, which should take you about 1 hour, you have to dive into some of the prior works, the discussions, the conclusions. It's like you expanding deeper. I mentioned something about you reading the method last. And the third part, it's gonna take 4 hours. Actually now understanding the approach they took in the paper. One question I asked him was about why do we have to read the paper for the very fourth time to understand every single thing when we know that in research, in as much as we replicate what people have done in the past, we still don't follow what they've done because we are coming up with new innovation. And the only point where we get to repeat what somebody else has done is, let's say they have the future work section and your work is extending on that. And he was trying to explain it to me that when we have methods, there are times when accuracies are being compared. Your own implementation is to actually compare the accuracies people have achieved in the past with your own accuracy. So this will require you to kind of go over the methods again and understand. Or let's say you want to replicate the code of the past authors. If you don't understand the methods, there won't be a way for you to replicate the code they've worked on. Well, that was everything today. And for my case, I'm continuing my research because we submitted the first part of the paper to SPIE Medical Imaging, and then we still have a continuation of the work. The work is not yet done, and we have to kind of now collect our own data.